Me with my GF's family following my sudden inheritance. Feel like my life is shattering.
Where do I even begin? I'm so lost right now. I don't even know how to put things into words or find a good starting point. I guess it goes with how 2 months ago, my life was exactly where I wanted it to be. I've been with the girl of my dreams, 27 for the last 3.5 years. We have a house, animals, both of our families get along beautifully and honestly. The last 3 years around the holidays have been some of the most warm, fuzzy memories I've had in my entire life. And believe me, I've been thinking about those times a lot lately. So, like I said, this problem is going to come in parts because my entire life feels like it is on the brink of completely falling apart. My mother was a very wealthy woman. Most of my life, she and I did not get along very well. But I started working in the family business roughly 5 years ago, and since then, we've actually developed a great relationship. It was one of those things where, after many years of feeling that my mother hated me, she was at last proud of me and not afraid to say she loved me and valued me. Then last month, in mid-March, she passed away. I'm tearing up thinking about this, as I type because I've always felt that. Despite her resentment towards me in my early years, I loved my mother more than anyone else in this world. I won't say much more than that. She had a hard life in spite of her wealth, and I feel I could write a whole book on our relationship. Anyway, she is gone, and my siblings and I are now extremely wealthy and have taken possession of the business and all of her investments and property. If that isn't scary enough, I'm having a hard time figuring out what I need to do next. The business I was associated with, I can handle, and my siblings, and I have really come together on this, and they seem to trust me with that part of it. But it doesn't wash away the hurt and guilt I feel that I only got a few good years with the woman who gave me life. Anyway, my plan is to marry my GF by next year, and we've already discussed the prenup situation, which I will be getting due to my newfound wealth. She has been nothing but wonderful after my mom's death. But the problems come in her family. I won't go into much detail, but I love these people, like an extension of my own family. But they have already started trying to pry exactly how wealthy I am out of my GF, and her mom has always had a gravitational pull towards, for lack of a better term, pyramid schemes. Her first sibling, Terry, just got married and is working a fast food job. Terry and his wife have decided they will be starting a family soon and stated that they want wife to be a stay at home mom. This talk has only recently popped up and been brought to my attention, and I feel like I'm being paranoid. Being directed at me as there is absolutely no way they'd be able to afford this on the money they currently make or even while living in their small apartment, like they are expecting me to help them out in a situation they are wholly unable to handle right now. Sibling number 2. Leslie has run into some pretty serious legal trouble and is also pregnant. The father has a history of abuse, and neither have steady incomes. They have recently come back into our lives after a 4-year-long absence between GF and Leslie. Though, prior to this, the two have always been extremely close, as GF is with all of her siblings, as throughout their childhood, a lot of the time, all they had was each other. Sibling 3, Casey, who I hardly ever speak to, has even started chatting me up on Facebook more than she ever has in the entire time I've known her. Is this just my brain devolving into paranoia, or is this actually happening? Like the lottery horror stories you hear where people come out of the woodwork with their hands out when they smell money in someone they know. I know for a fact my mother, for all of her faults, fell victim to this when she inherited this money. She became increasingly bitter throughout her life, due to all of the husbands and friends that took advantage of her for what she could do for them. She drank herself stupid every day for 30 years and moved through carton after carton of cigarettes and alienated her own children. I don't want to be like that. I don't want that to happen. It's been less than a month that I've had more money than I know what to do with, and I'm afraid to spend a dime or do anything with it because I feel like my GF's family is only the beginning. What's worse, and will probably make me look like a total shithead, is my GF has already committed to helping Leslie. They were close their whole lives, and with all of the legal trouble and pregnancy, GF cries at night thinking about what's happening to her. She has not asked me to help financially or anything, but I have been there every step of the way to help support them, and her as best as I can. But how will it look when my GF starts giving out her money to people, while I don't, and get viewed as a selfish Scrooge? All of this is too much. The last 3 years were just so wonderful. So many magic trips to the beach. Wonderful holidays surrounded by not one but 2 families full of great people that accepted and loved me. And now it seems like, because I lost my mother and I'm getting a windfall because of it, everything is changing. I don't get to be happy with family anymore. And my whole life is crashing because of this. I know this is so far beyond a first world problem. Poor baby is now a multimillionaire and is a little sad. He can't have a happy Christmas. Why? What, I feel so broken. I miss my mom. I don't sleep at all. I hardly eat. And, despite knowing full well the path my mother went down, I've been drinking a bit and smoking weed more than I ever had. On a daily basis, in fact. My siblings seem to be coping just fine, and now I feel like everyone is out to get me. Even my GF is getting a little tired of hearing me voice my concerns over GF's siblings, 1-3, and her mom's sudden extra interest in me, which is understandable. They are all very close and take up for one another. Now, I'm even doubting myself and thinking it's all in my head, maybe. Too many times my mother drunkenly telling me about all the time she trusted people and was let down. I'm just so lost.